It's that time again. I'm about to show you my most used palettes for the month of May. So up first I have the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. I really like this palette. I like the greens, beautiful they are. So one of my first looks was Faye in the crease, and then I had Oz across the lid, and I love that colour. It's one of my favourite colours in there. And then I had Flare to smoke out, and then I had Belle under the lower lash line and around the outer edge to blend out. So that's what I had on that day. And then another day I had the Portly Plum on the lid as a base. This is Clinique Portly Plum. And then I put Flare all the way across the lid, and then Jazzy to smoke out. And then I think I had Belle again under the lash line and in the crease to smoke out. And then I had Chanel Charm for a liner that day. This is like a purple brown colour, so it went really well with that look. And then another day I had Faye in the crease, Oscar across the lid, and then I had Jazzy on the outer corner and Belle. I use that Belle a lot. It's a really nice one. I have Belle on the lower lash line and in the crease. Then another day I had Marlin across the lid. This beautiful one here, this frosty green. Oh, I love it. So I had that across the lid. And then I had a mixture of Flare and Jazzy, which is this one and this one. I think I wanted to make like a purpley brown sort of colour. I had a mix, like a burgundy colour I wanted to make. I had that to smoke the outer corner. And then I had Belle, of course, underneath the lower lash line. And I always had this one to do the inner corner on most of the looks. That's the one I use. That's why it's got all those stab marks. Because I use that with the silicone blender. I do love this colour and these two greens. They're my favourites. And this is probably my favourite one for using in the crease and blending out. So, yeah. Got some good use out of that palette. I used the Natasha Denona 5-pan in Coral, and I put the Portly Plum on the lid, and then I put this one on top, and it was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. I used this one in the crease, and I used that as an inner corner. So I had this in the crease, that as the inner corner, that across the lid, and this was to smoke out on the outer corner. And I used this one as a transition, so like a spotlight shade sort of thing, like to blend the two together between this one and that one. So this was in between to like blend them together. So yeah, that was a beautiful one. I love that palette, love it. This is abalone in here, and it's got a beautiful flip to it. So yeah, I enjoyed using that one. Beautiful palette. And then after that, I have been using the Huda Mercury Retrograde. I use this one a lot, and you're going to see. Look at that. All those pans used. Like, I've nearly hit pan on these ones. That one's gone. I think that's shattered actually. That did shatter a bit, but I've been using up what's in the corners. There is a tiny bit in the corners, look. And then I've gone through this one a lot. That one's a bit hard to blend. I usually use that with this one together. In another look, I had Clinique Portly Plum across the lid, and then I had Nebula on top of that, which is this one. This is my favourite shade in the entire palette. I love that colour so much. So I had that across the lid. I used Libra around the edge and the lower lash line. So I had Vortex to smoke. I had this nice pinky one on the inner corner. So yeah, I had that one. And then another day I had the Clinique Portly Plum again, Supernova across the lid, and then I had Hot Mess on the outer corner. So that one there. And then I had Cosmic on the inner corner again. So that was this one. had Off Balance in the crease and lower lash line. And then I had Givenchy Iris to line, that one. I didn't use any of the golds this month. I'll probably use them another month. So yeah, had fun with that palette this month. And then my next one was this little tiny MAC one. I did soft brown in the crease, and I did this one, Antiqued, which is one of my favourites. I went through a whole pan of that before, which is why I bought this new one. This one's a limited edition one. This came from the Magnificent Moon collection. I love all these colours. These are all permanent colours in their range, and I thought, I love the moon. I love all this sort of stuff, moons and stars and things like that. So I bought the palette, and yeah, it's a really good all-rounder. I had soft brown in the crease, Antique across the lid. I had this one, Nylon. See, I know the names off by heart. I had Nylon on the inner corner, Texture on the lower lash line, and then I had Embark to smoke out. So yeah, another look I did this month, and I really like that palette. And then the last palette I've been using was this one, and this is the one I've got on my eyes today. It's the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. I like this one. I just love greens a lot. So today I did a look using this one all across the lid for a base, and in the crease and on the lower lash line. So I used that pretty much all over. And then I had grey across the lid. I've got Willow on the outer corner. This one to line. I had Calathea to line. I used a little thin brush and I did a line on this outer corner here. And I used this lovely one here as like a spotlight shade. You can see that sparkling there. So I used that just here between the two colours where they mesh together. So yeah, that was a lovely look I did. And then another day, what have I done? Valley in the crease, Macchia on the lid, which is this one. This one here, across the lid. And then I had Calathea to smoke, which is that one. So I had that on the outer corner. And then I had Camu Camu on the inner corner. Oh, I've got Camu Camu today as well, I forgot to say. So I had Camu Camu on the inner corner. I used a Charlotte Tilbury Green Lights eyeliner for that look. And then another look I did was Valley in the crease again. So I used this one a lot. And then I had Elysian across the lid. And that was really nice. Flax on the outer corner. Camu Camu on the inner corner. And then I had Iris as a liner. And that was really pretty. And that's all of them. That's all the palettes I've been using this month. And I hope you liked my video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. And I'll see you again next time for my most used palettes for the month of June. Bye.